appointments in Almeria to register the non-lucrative visa. I don't go on Facebook that much, to be honest, on the groups, but I do see that there is, well, I've been told there is a lot of concern about getting appointments in Almeria. From last November, it has been an absolute nightmare and has been a big problem, and there's not many answers out there. So we set out to try and get some. I've got a 3-day video diary coming out from last week's trip, one of which was spent completely driving around Almeria to the 3 stations there, which I'm going to give you a brief about now. But if you want to see me being blown about in a very small car, then watch the video diaries. Can be coming out Thursday, Friday and Saturday. But yeah, what is actually happening in Almeria? Well, from November we have hardly seen any appointments at all. All right, so it was very, very strange. Now, we know initially there was rumours of illegal gangs and stuff like this. As we saw quite famously last year, there was this illegal gang dismantled who were taking appointments and selling them on. And we've been trying to get appointments for clients across the board since last year, and it's been a nightmare. So let me just explain to you where we are with that right now and what we've done to try and get answers for people. Okay, so it started off where there's just no appointments available, where normally you jump on the system and there'd be appointments available, and Almeria used to have one of the bigger calendars where you could choose your date and go around the month. That suddenly stopped. Nothing happened for about a month, and we just kept trying, just kept saying no appointment available, no appointment available. And then it came up with you need a digital certificate to apply. Okay, so there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can have your own digital certificate, or you can have a clavi pin. A clavi pin would only be available for people who are on renewal, because you need your residency support card number, not your NIE number, the support number on the card to get one of those. So we started to try with a digital certificate. Digital certificate wasn't working that well, but eventually we did see appointments coming through. So there's 2 ways that we're working with our clients with digital certificate. We're either supporting them getting a digital certificate, then showing them how to make the appointment themselves, or we're getting a digital certificate and holding it on their behalf and trying to get appointments for them. Depends. Some people are more comfortable actually having their own digital certificate, while we can manage that process if needed. Evidently, the digital certificate is not just useful for getting appointments to register your non-lucrative visa. It's useful on many fronts, to do a lot of things, and it's a good thing to have in your life in Spain. So then what happened was some people managed to get their appointments, but in stations we've never ever been to, and they were running now in April, believe it or not. A couple of our clients managed to get appointments we're going to talk about now for today, and that was about 2 months ago, and they've got in today, and we're going to tell you what happened there. But generally there's never any appointments available. So I went on Friday to Almeria to find out why and what was going on there. Now, I had to stop by Montreal, because Montreal hasn't got any appointments either, and we got to the bottom of that. Basically in Montreal, the guy who runs the place is gone sick, and all they're doing at the moment is pick up appointments. That's it. You can't get appointments or anything else. The guys who were sat behind the counter were pretty much miffed and weren't very sympathetic about their client who's off sick. I don't know if there's been some sort of internal disagreement there, but they weren't very sympathetic at all. And they were like, he should be back on Monday because he's not that bad. And the appointments might be open. They weren't open. So people living on the Costa Tropical, Granada has picked up all that slack, but unfortunately it looks like you're not going to be able to go to Montreal for the unforeseen future, because the appointments didn't open today, and you'll have to go up to Granada, make the trek up there. So after that we went to Almeria. The following morning I went to the main office, which is in Calle Marrocos in Almeria. Approached to try and get in to find out what's happening with the appointments. The security guard on the door, who's a bit of a nightmare to be honest with you, just said, look, the appointments open at 8 and 3 o'clock. And I said, but there's hardly ever any open. He said, no, but they always open at 8 and 3 o'clock. I was like, okay then. So we've got that information, and suddenly we've got 2 times at which we know are key times to try and book appointments, albeit we know that the appointments that have been booked at very random times. So we continue to try at random times as well for our clients. I then went over to a place called Ejido, and quite shockingly this is where we have actually managed to get appointments for clients, and our clients have managed to get appointments there as well themselves. And it's a new station that we've never been to. Well, it's not a new station, very old, but it's a station where we've never been to before. And I wanted to check it out, obviously make sure we know where the parking areas are and go and find out from them what's happening. They said the same. They said the appointments are released at 8 o'clock every single day, but shock horror, they said there are locutorios, which if you look at my video diary that's coming out in the next for three-day trip, it will explain exactly what that is. Basically, these little offices which are acting illegally and booking them all up before anybody else can get them. And I was like, wow, this is coming from a policeman. You're telling me that the only way to get one is to go to the black market. Anyway, but he said, so it's 8 o'clock they open. We know that there are appointments coming online from Ejido because we've managed to get some. In fact, the morning that I drove off, we managed to get appointments in Ejido because I was literally on my way with a list of 5 that we needed, and I ended up just going with a list of 2, so I managed to get 3 of them, which was a nice bonus. After that, I went to Roquetas. Roquetas is the 3rd station. We've never actually been there with our clients. Turns out it's a really nice place. So Roquetas has got a station which is okay, plenty of parking, opposite the bus station. But the same story from the guy on the door. The guy on the door basically said, I'm afraid these illegal, the offices are legal, but they're just operating illegally. They're getting appointments for people and selling them on. I don't know how that can possibly work if it has to be done on a digital certificate basis unless they've got illegal software. How is this happening? I just don't know, because we can't book appointments and then sell them on. You know, selling the appointments is illegal. You can only offer the assistance in booking an appointment as part of a service that you're offering. So from there, but he said at 8 o'clock every day they release them. Okay, I'm like, okay, great. We'll crack down on the legal booking and maybe somebody else will be able to get some. From there, I did go around a couple of these shops, and again, I go more into detail on my diary, but we managed to find out that actually they do release them at 1:30 as well. So we've got Almeria 8 o'clock, Ejido 8 o'clock, Roquetas apparently 8 o'clock and 1:30, and Almeria did say that in the afternoon as well they release a few appointments at 3 o'clock. But then I drove back to Almeria, sat outside at 3 o'clock next to the security guard and went, look, you told me they'd open at 3 o'clock and they didn't. And he just then at that point got really annoyed with me and told me to leave. So the good news is we know you can get them, but you have to be on top of it all the time. Every time we're checking 20 times a day. It's an absolute nightmare. Clients have got them, but what happens if your visa runs out? And we always advise clients, don't let your visa run out before you do your registration here in Spain. But sometimes, now the circumstance that's happened here in Almeria, that just hasn't been possible. Okay, so we've had, and we don't look, our advice would still be don't let your visa run out. But the biggest bit of advice we can get is when you get into Spain, if you've got that entry stamp before the expiry of your visa, if you haven't got an appointment for another 2 or 3 months, do not leave and come back in. Okay, don't get an entry stamp after the expiry of your visa. That's definite no-no. Today, Tom, our agent, has been up to Almeria with 4 clients, and the first 2 who did have the visas expired but had entry stamps which were fine according to the police there. They said, look, we know what's happening, we know people can't get appointments, so it's not a problem, we do understand. We wrote a little letter for them to take with them as well. They got to the desk, and guess what? This system's not working. This is after 2 months of waiting for an appointment. We've sent somebody 250 kilometers to go and do this appointment, and it's not working. Wonderful. So they gave him an appointment for another day, which is fine. They gave him a stamped official piece of paper which said they have been here, they have tried. So that's great. They also checked all the dates and everything on the documents, and they said, look, it's fine because we understand there's a lack of appointments. If the visa's expired but you've got your entry stamp that's correct, then you can get your TIE card. From there, Tom this afternoon had another appointment, and that was with 2 other clients who have got their visas now, who have had an absolute hell of a time because they were part of the initial process for quite a while back in the UK, and now they've come here and it's been impossible to get an appointment. But they got it done today, and the good news is they've got their visas registered, albeit that the visas had expired, but their entry date on the passport was before the expiry of the visa, so at least they understand that. So we've got 3 reasons why, well, 2 reasons really why there isn't any appointments. 1, apparently the system's been going down quite a lot, and Tom confirmed that today. And 2, somehow people are illegally booking these appointments, but no one knows how, because I even spoke to Antonio, our accountant, who went to an AI summit in Granada not so long ago, and this was brought up within the industry. So how are these people doing it? So I don't know, what software do they have to be able to book an appointment for someone else if they're not using their digital certificate? But it is happening. All right, but look, the good news is that there are appointments available. They're extremely hard to get, but if you come into Almeria, there are provisions being made by the extranjerías, so they are taking note of the expiry dates of visas as long as the entry date is correct. They understand that as long as you've booked your appointment within that time, or if you can't get an appointment, as long as your entry stamp's good, then at the moment we seem to be okay. And yeah, let's see what happens in the future. For our clients, we're going to continue to support them either getting a digital certificate or helping them get their own digital certificate, and hopefully we can all continue to register the visas. So that was just an update for me about Almeria. Thought I'd let you know what was going on over there. I don't think I've got anything else on my notes to say. Nope, that's it. So thanks for watching once again. Please check out my 3-day trip that I did get it all recorded, and a lot of it's me just waffling on, normal to this channel, and we've got our weekly update coming out tomorrow.